Coates is the ranking member of the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee on Homeland Security. Senator, welcome to the show. So what do you think of the proposed bipartisan bill?
Well, there's some good ideas here, but it's not enough. We have to go to the source of this, and that means going to the leaders of the governments of these Central American countries, basically demanding that they use whatever resources they have to, one, go against these cartels, to tell their own families and children that live in their countries that this is a perilous journey that they're going to take. There'll be all kinds of documented now abuse. That is a cartel gang-driven issue here, and that we simply have to put the pressure on these countries to stop this at the source. Otherwise, we're continuing to just have people flood across the river and across the border, and we don't have the capacity to deal with it.
Yeah, you know what the problem,
it's important
though,
to send them back.
The problem, though, Senator, is that they're desperate in a lot of these countries, and they just might risk even their children's safety for a chance at getting to America. What about cutting off aid to these particular countries?
Well, I think we need to use every leverage you can to get their leadership and their government to take a role in this. And this issue of they're desperate in their countries, there's not a lot that has been changed over the last several decades in these countries. What's happening here is this narrative: get your kids to the border, and therefore they'll be in the United States and taken care of and not to worry about in the future. Well, and that is not something that is going to happen. We need to send them back. We need to care for them, of course, while they're here. We need to adjudicate them as quickly as possible. But when those plane loads and those buses pull back into their towns, they will understand you're not going to risk your child on a 1,500-mile journey under the control of drug cartels and all the abuse that takes place, not to be able to stay there.
Senator, you bring up a good point about the fact that you're right about the desperation. That has been going on for decades. So what is it that has changed it? So thank you for bringing that up. I want you to listen to the White House spokesperson, Josh Earnest, when asked about this today.
After an individual has gone through the removal proceedings and an immigration judge has concluded that they do not have a legitimate claim for humanitarian relief, we would like the Secretary of Homeland Security to have the authority to use his discretion, in some cases, to act quickly to remove those individuals back to their home country.
Well, that's an interesting statement, is it not, from Mr. Earnest? He's actually, I think, somewhat agreeing with Republicans.
Well, slowly the White House is coming around to the reality of what's taking place on that border, but once again, leading from behind, waiting for something to happen, trying to figure out what to do with it instead of anticipating. We should have seen this coming. I mean, the numbers were there months and months ago, if not years ago. Now they're starting to hear from the American people that their policies of adjudication 18 months later, 2 years later, can't find the kids, they don't show up for their judges and so forth. That's not working as a solution. This is an emergency. It's a humanitarian crisis, and we need to get full force into it. We'll work with the president if he'll work with us.
All right, Senator Dan Coates, thanks much for your time today, sir.
Sure, thank you.